Welcome back to Svalvinter, the role-playing game, the Self for Winter. Book 2, The Eyes of the Oracle. Eyes, Oracle. Who collects eyes these days anyway? It must be some anti-creationist type, right? This
sounds right.
It sounds about right. This show is rated terribly R because people do war crimes and adult things for fun. So, however you cut it, be warned.
Geneva suggestions, if you will.
Yes.
I'm not a nice person, okay?
I say the word fuck.
There you have it. And we have Harold.
Hey folks, my name's Josh, and I play Errol de Merald, the Animist Inquisition, who recently had quite an interesting change to heart in the last couple episodes.
Yeah, and you are getting a new destiny now. No, we already gave you a new destiny. So
You already gave
that's
me a new
fine.
destiny,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was last time. And I know someone who doesn't have a destiny this session, and that we'll get to her. Hi, Promos.
My name is John. I play Promos Abgalmunda, a Trinismiran expat and guy with a boat.
Indeed. And then Drake.
I'm Drake, and I'm playing Rubello de Sempra, a humble priest who happens to be very talkative with the winds.
Yes. He can, command the winds. And he has done several times. And then, finally, but not least...
My name's Jess, and I play Kranz de Kalev, the Supreme General of the Digatulunga. Yeah, y'all fucked me up last session.
Yep.
Not gonna be good.
No. Yeah, so we find ourselves on this day of the, is this the, since it's the new day, I guess, it is in fact the last day of Fateska, the month of Fateska, which is the third month of the year, which means that we're getting closer to spring, you guys. True story. You're still in Vumbra. The investigation about brain-sucking monsters have gone terribly, in a word. And who is to know if it's gonna progress at all? Also, let's go over to the Vumbra map, shall we? Also, poor Prawns is broken.
Yep. So Promos comes back from fishing or investigating or whatever he was doing.
Well, first, before we do that, I want to address Promos' question about how the locals perceive him. Because that could be interesting, right? That's one of the things Promos has been doing over the last few days is, doing fishing and hanging out with locals because he wasn't needed by the authorities, clearly. They were doing investigations, so he just took the time to chillax, basically. The Promos equivalent of Netflix and chill, which I guess is sitting in a boat and fishing.
Lots of drinking.
Lots of drinking. And that's, of course, when you can hang out with other fishers and discover what is up with them. So why don't we do a water roll for you, because that's fun. And you could even add your skipper ability, because your abilities is not just to do certain tasks, but it's also networking. So if you want to network in that particular, like for Huntsmaster, you can network with other hunters. For Swords Mastery, you can network with other fighters and weaponsmiths, and so on and so forth. So if you want to add 2 fate dice to really nail down the mood among the fishers here, I would allow it. Of course, you don't have to, but you can.
I'm sitting on a good chunk of fate dice, so I'm okay with that.
All right.
So adding 2 would be
4 dice in total.
4 dice in total. Let's do it.
Oh, I even had you at 11 dice, so you actually have 9 dice left. Crazy stuff.
Dice for days.
Dice for days, exactly. That is 2 successes. One of them is 6. 3, yeah. So, yes, you will hang out in the local fishers' taverns, and I feel like I need to have like a rowdy tavern soundtrack right here. If I could find it, I can. There. There are goblets clinking against each other. There is lots of talking. Transmirans can be hot-tempered. This is the Island of Fire, after all. Island of Fire goddess worship, and as such, hot tempers will flare. People often amuse themselves with bar fights, basically.
Yeah, we've gotten into a couple of scraps in this bird.
And as such, I'm sure Promos might get in a scrap or two just to make his introductions and make some friends locally. It seems, yes, the locals do not like the Dracorians from the Paratornians at all. There is a lot of side eyes. It's gone so far as there's a couple of taverns inside the garrison where those Transmirans who work for the Imperial government in Tresilva, they will hang out there for the most part, but there's a sense that anyone who is siding with them will be put on a list to be dealt with once the overlords have been ejected from the island finally. Much like probably happened last time, really. So that's the sense.
So Vumbra is in
Corian control right now.
Is under Tricorian control. Bitter about it?
Yes.
Trinismira is under whose control during the rebellion? Who are they rebelling? They're breaking out of Tricorian control, yeah?
Yeah, that's correct. So they're breaking away. So the rest of Transmira, basically, if we go back to this map. So Kark here is where Vumbra is, and that is under the control of Tracoria, Paratorna. But the rest of Transmira here is under control of Lemur Spad, the militant Transmiran freedom fighter who has set up the Republic of Transmira. He recently...
Okay, so going for, like, independence.
Yes, independence. Exactly.
Among the Trinismiran workers, how do they feel about that?
I think you will find the sentiment to be 40, 30, 30. Or 40, 40, 20 maybe. So 40% stalwart pro-independence, because Lemur has been that successful.
So a Brexit, Scottish independence kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Roughly half really big on it, the other half rabidly against it, and 20% who just want to continue business as normal.
I would flip it around, actually. So 40% stalwart for independence, 40% don't care and just want to get on with their lives.
Okay.
And 20% really in favor of Tracoria. That many of them, no doubt, because they have become, deeply entangled into the administration and fear for their lives / jobs / careers. So, yeah, I think that's the breakdown. With 40% pro-independence, 40% neutral, just don't disrupt. Fighting is bad for my life. I just want to ply my trade and do my fishing and be left alone. And 20%, we should stick with Tracoria. Yeah, that's how it breaks down, I would argue.
Okay, that's useful information to have. Thank you.
Indeed. That is what you have gathered. You would also have heard of rebellious activity just a couple of days north of here, because what we haven't done yet is summarized what happened last time we met. Someone can do that for a fate die if you want. Errol should, or Rubello should. Drake, are you up to it? Because you have 2 fate dice in your chalice in your pool right now, and you might need some more.
If I remember correctly, Errol was undercover gathering some information and he got a lot of information that was a little bit too important to Kranz on a personal level. He came back and shared that with Kranz, broke her spirit, and threw her into probably about a week's worth of alcoholism in a one night. Whiskey bottles being chucked, doors getting slammed, emissaries getting sent away, a lot of self-doubt. And Rebella was kind of just watching the whole spectacle.
Weepy Tuesday, we call those.
Yeah, that's actually a good summary. It was a short moment, but it was important to play it out, and that is what Promos will be getting back to when I guess is he summoned, or what is going on in Prance's head right now? As
I wouldn't have summoned him, but I imagine he wanders back just to see if the boat is needed. When he wanders back, there's still a few bottles. Like he walks by the window of her office, and a bottle flies out of it and like crashes in front of him. And
how full and or empty is the bottle? Is there still any in it?
The bottle is empty.
Okay.
And
I will not attempt to roll to catch the bottle.
Kranz is screaming. And I imagine Errol and Rebello are just kind of sitting outside her office waiting for the tantrum to be done.
That is what Promos walks into. Two very silent priests and one steaming Prance.
Kranz was not this angry whenever we lost Terralisi.
There's a boiling point, and then there's a combustion point. I think we're a little bit past that.
Yeah.
How long she been like this?
Mikkel, same day.
Day or... Yeah, about 24 hours now, I'd say.
Ooh, so long when has she passed out at all?
Oh.
Promos is going to try and like brace himself by the door. He's not gonna like stick a head out or leave cover, but he is gonna shout like, "Your drinks are shite. They're real weak. Prawns, what's going on?"
She hollers out, "Bring more booze."
Will you brain me if I do?
I'll let you live.
It's good. Promos will take what he has on him. He's got at least a wineskin of something.
Kranz will continue to drink and throw things until she passes out.
Little bluff.
Before she crashes, Probus is just gonna like poke a couple of questions at her, like, someone need to die, or what happened?
Talk to Errol.
Why talk to Errol? That's boring.
It's all his fault.
Yeah, but it's still boring.
And then she passes out.
Oh, fuck. Harold!
And this is where Prance got another fate die for giving in to her bane.
So Errol will walk into the now passed out Prance and...
Yep.
Yes.
So what happened?
It's complicated, but I'll do my best to re-explain it.
Yeah, can you uncomplicate it? Can you make it like short?
She's asleep, right?
Yeah.
I actually go
kind
over
of like nudge her with a toe.
Yeah.
She doesn't move. She's
Like,
if you don't put her on her side, she might drown in her own vomit.
yeah, carefully thump her with the butt end of the harpoon, just like.
So Prance is the bad guy. This is about the easiest way I can explain it. I actually had the opportunity recently to meet our dear our dear wanted poster people.
Oh, really? You did? The criminals?
I met every single one of the criminals, yes. And believe it or not, they're on the same journey we are to try and actually save the prophets.
Really now?
Really. And here comes the bigger piece to the pie. is that the Rubdarana, so the little frog assassin people,
Aye, weirdos, aye.
yeah. They're actually the ones pulling the strings and doing the assassinations
Well, yeah, that's...
against the prophets.
Against their own, yeah. We kind of figured as much, but we couldn't prove it.
And I wouldn't even be surprised if that whole brain sucker missing pieces part is part of it too, but I haven't gotten that far. But long story short, explaining to Prawns that these guys are actually half decent, and they didn't kill me on sight. Obviously, I'm still here. I'm not brainwashed, even though they had opportunities galore. But long story short,
Promos is gonna like look over at Rubello and be like, "Did you double check that? Like,
Oh yeah, trust me, I double checked.
is a
It
clean
was
one
factual.
then? You talk to the air and all, and
Technically, Rubello, you haven't
didn't.
actually used your full, shall we say, accord with Shamash, Lord of Truth, to check that Errol isn't lying. Like, you
I
didn't
thought I
do...
did.
Shamashi Truth? Did you do a spell on that? Oh, maybe you did.
I think I did.
Okay.
Yeah, because I lent him the face die to do it.
Right.
that's what
true.
it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, detect lies and whatnot. Yeah, it's like, yeah. So, yes, you have confirmed.
So yes. So basically, Prawns has been hunting down these people that are really just trying to help the realm. The real realm's threat is, for lack of better terms, this secret frog organization that is killing all the prophets. And we just went ahead and hired them to go kill the people that's trying to save the world. Well, sorry, we as in, and I look over to Prawns' passed out corpse, and but as of a memo that I have to send over to Sambersand, I am probably restating that fact and stating that we are no longer hunting them. If anything, we probably should be allying with them, because there is a greater evil in the realm than just anti-creationists.
that's the frog folk.
Yeah, and it's to the point that I met one of the frog folk that actually turned tail and is now working with them to try and get rid of said frog folk.
You think you can convince your boss to drop any grudges, or you think he's gone too far?
I think I'm hoping Samberson would come to the realization that there's greater things for the realm than just dealing with anti-creationists. And based off what I've been told, these things and the way that their magics work, and take it from the grain of salt that I don't know much about all this, but the way that their magics works is they actually put a worm in their brains, and it's kind of like a voice of God, was how it was explained to me.
Do you think that might have something to do with the brain sucking
And that
investigation?
was my lead to saying it could have something to do with it. Yeah. Yeah. And they coordinate with each other. Each of them can kind of tell that when there's another one around. We literally had a radar because she was one of them previously, so we could tell whenever they were around. But the big telltale signs is their lower lip is completely blackened. They use a scythe or sickle, typically for their assassination item. And then they've got a saying, deep breaths, and basically their eyes actually move independently of each other. So you can actually see, like, they'll be focusing off one, but then their eye goes someplace else. It's kind of some of their telltale signs. But if everything that I've been told, and I'm taking this with partial grain of salt, but it really still comes back to Majura and the Shaggles, and I would not even be surprised if our dear friend was actually wrapped up in all this with the Rubdarana, and they were actually assassinated her too.
Promos is going to start like digging through the bottles on the floor for like any scraps, any dregs that are in there.
There's a few left that are unbroken.
I'm sure you're
Yeah,
going to
like-
be able to find some, yeah.
Like he's tipping him up before like nudging him into a pile and like the most half-assed cleanup efforts that you've ever seen. Yes. So what are we going to do with her then?
Let's get her away from her desk and try and find some proper room and abode for her and make sure that she doesn't kill herself in the middle of the night. And then once she comes to, I think we've got some more profits to try and help save.
How quickly can you be ready to go? We're racing against a shadow organization that seems pretty widespread and pretty connected.
I'm ready to go as soon as she gets sober.
You can just dump her in a boat and she can
You
sail
still have
up
your
there.
airship?
The airship is
Yeah.
available, yep.
And where's the next profit? Where are we headed?
Let's bring up the map. That's the question, isn't it? So. The white one. I think, yeah. Josh, do you want to explain the situation with the white one?
Oh, and icing on the cake. The profit here, that was the profit that was supposed to be here, was actually held in... Words, Mikkel, I apologize.
Gattve's Rock.
Yeah, Gattve's Rock.
Which is
And
here.
when we got there, the white one was actually already subdued to the Rejoicers.
What is subdued to the Rejoicers a euphemism for?
So, rejoicing. Have you not heard this expression before?
No.
Promos
Okay.
might not have, yeah.
So, it's the simple concept of... No, it's not simple. Basically, interacting with a Rejoicer will cause you to further go as insane as those Rejoicers. So, politely put, the white one became a Rejoicer, and by proxy, the prophet, the white one, still lives to this day, to my knowledge, and was taken by the others.
But he's got a hole in his boat. He's useless.
Very much hole in the boat, cannot talk, interact, and even us talking about it just might... Yeah, I don't want to jinx
Alright,
it.
so did you put a knife to him or what?
I left it with them to see if there's a way that they could cure the Rejoicers. But the problem with Rejoicers, based off everything that I've known, is when you find a Rejoicer, the best course of action is to ship them on a small dinghy and set them off of land.
It does wonders for me.
And don't let them land on land again.
So if he's already a nutter,
He's lost, yeah.
Are there any else on Trina's mirror, or is it back down?
Yeah, no, at this point it would be back down. Looking at, and I'm assuming we've got a map of some sort, Mikkel.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
So
looking at it.
Yep. So looking at it at this point, the two options we've got is to go back to Triclev and see if we can meet up with this astrologist, or make our way over to Palamux. The only problem with Palamux, it's Palamux. And I look over to Rubello at this point. I would not be surprised if we are hunted down in the same fashion that we've had previously been trying to hunt down them if we make our way over there.
You're probably right.
We can make our way probably back to Triclev and see if we can meet up with the astrologist that's there. In a perfect world, I'd love to also get back to Paratorna to give Gwillo an update, and even send Gwillo on his way to update Samberson personally, rather than this via letter, because it's going to be hard enough to explain this to Samberson in the same method that I did to Prawns. Samberson's going to lose his shit if I explain to this in person. He might take it a little easier on Gwillo.
I can probably smuggle prawns back into Trisilva. I know some of the ways there. Also, Gwillow's across the mountains, so it's not a journey that I can make on Aoife. And I don't know how fast your airship goes, or how fast Rubello can push it.
We did come from there.
Yep.
Now, mind you, we did stop and visit the Innocent One. But at this point, I think it's best for all to get our metaphorical feathers into one spot and kind of work from there. Even if Gwillow has to wait a little bit, I think there's no harm in leaving Gwillow back with the White Flame. Unless our dear friends that are now our friends, Gwillow doesn't get the memo of and attempts to take them out.
You can write a letter to Alicella. He's got an information network that spreads fast.
Yeah, that would work. Then yeah, so based off that, if you can smuggle prawns in, then that might be our best bet.
Boat is ready and packed. I can leave as soon as we drag her out the door. If you want to pack her a bag.
Excellent. So Errol's going to go to her estate, or wherever she's currently staying here.
I'm staying here.
And Errol is going to find the worst set of clothing for prawns. Like, I'm talking as baggy and as commoner looking as possible.
Ah, are we doing a disguise thing, perhaps?
Almost to the point that Errol might even dig into his own disguise kit / spare clothes.
You better
Some
bring Kranz
burlap
lots of
clothing.
mocha, or she's gonna blow the whole thing by opening her mouth.
She's got a couple of days to get sober on the boat.
Now, this is Prawn's garrison, right? Like,
Yeah, this is one of her military headquarters that we're at.
Absolutely.
while he's packing a bag, I'm going to ask Rubello to watch Prawns, and I'm going to quickly wander around until I find the place where the tortures happen.
Yeah, that would be a dungeon.
Right? Is there like an attendant there? Does she have thugs hanging around?
She would have guards,
Yeah.
prison guards.
Great, you. I need some of the wakey salts.
They're looking at each other a couple of times, and that fella's with the general, Oh, right.
Not the
Give.
Grand High General. Thank you.
Grand High General, yes. They give you.
All right, Tom. I'm going to go back to the room and wave him under Prawn's nose.
Kranz wakes up. She promptly vomits where she sits.
Just sort of like patting her back in that bro way, like, yep.
Get it out, man. Get it out. Did he tell you?
Well,
The
you're the
wrong
bad guys.
fucking people this whole time. Since the goddamn zombies. There were zombies, man.
There's a lot of different kinds of bad.
Yeah. Lots
I
of bad.
Coffee.
No, you need water and sleep, and you'll be surrounded by both. I promise you. We're heading back to Trisilva. You got anything you need done before I put you on the boat?
I need to kill every last frog-living bastard on this planet.
Hold on, before we
That
leave,
one will have to wait.
before we leave, you probably should get the message out that who's actually the bad versus the good. I know you're kind of still half calm,
Yes.
but
I need to change the wanted list.
So we're sending out message to all the Digitalonga agents to keep eyes out for Rubdarana.
Yes. So Prawn sends out a message that the players are no longer wanted,
Yeah.
that the Rubdarana are under investigation, and to bring in anyone that they meet.
And Errol will assist to Prawns by reiterating the 3 key factors that makes them Rubdarana.
Mm.
So they will have to change their MO if they want to survive.
There will be a lot of lip checking, I'll tell you that.
Oh gosh. Right going into the city, everybody just showing the bottom of their lips.
That's going to take forever. If that spreads, I bet some stupid nobleman in Tresilva will start taking it up just to look scary. Woo! I'm a scary Rubdarana man now.
Prawns will put on that warrant. Kill on sight.
Okay then. Kill on sight.
Because you're asking Prawns to make a warrant while she's still drunk and angry.
Excellent.
Okay, so let's see now. You will send a message out, and it will take. It will take a D10 number of days, basically, for all your agents to get this message as it filters out across the Empire. Depending on where they are. So the local agents will get, like on Trismira, they'll get it like today or tomorrow or the day after. And Safina is probably a week or more. And
Okay.
same thing with distant Palamux. So
She looks at Errol. Set up a meeting with those people on neutral ground. We need to do like peace talks or something.
I love how you think I got them on speed dial.
I don't know. You talk to them.
Last time you saw them, Errol, they had the white one stuffed in a longboat, and then they stuffed themselves in the same longboat. The white one was wrapped in a rug, and they were headed up north from Gattve's Rock towards the shores of the Wolferweld, as far as you know. But that was a couple of days ago. They could be anywhere now.
You haven't told Prawns about the other part yet, by the way.
I don't know what you're talking about. See ya.
We should talk to them at some point.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, to
As
my
long as he
knowledge,
can
they're-
control his hammer. Fucking hammer.
We are going in the exact opposite cardinal direction.
So do we rather go chase these and
Well,
see if we can
there's-
meet up with them?
There's a notion of the eternal horizon, right? You always go towards the curve in the direction that you're headed, but you're never going to reach it. You're only going to get closer. If we're headed to Tresilva, we are doing the exact opposite of headed for the eternal. We're going in the other horizon. It's the longest possible way to reach another mountain.
We'll find them after. I thought we had to go do the other thing.
Saving the profits are important. Sure.
So what's more important, saving the profits or the exchange of information that's going to need to happen?
General Bronze to Kalev, that is your decision, half tankard to make.
Well, we don't know where they are.
North of here. Somewhere in the Winterwell. And hope to God we don't deal with werewolves along the way. Or wolfkin or whatever they're
I'm
called.
not fucking worried about Wolfkin. Really, I'm not. Wolfkin are like the things, the list of shit that I am concerned about.
Scary.
Wolfkin are down here. Okay?
Okay.
I have an entire assassin's guild that I now have to worry about.
Which you might get killed along the way if the assassins guild find out
Which
you
the
put the health
assassins
on.
might just kill me along the way. They know what I look like. I'm supposed to be paying them a bounty to kill other people.
Rebello does not have scholarship, so I can't let you roll for what you know about the Assassin's Guild. But there is, if you want information about the Assassin's Guild, there is a place not very far from here that has all the answers about everything right in Isakra. That's the biggest library around.
Can somebody please get me a mocha so I can think straight?
I'm sure you have servants somewhere around outside. You just scream,
If they're not
"Mocha!"
hiding from her.
Yeah, they're hiding, but if you scream loud enough, mocha, they will come and get it to you.
Yeah, if necessary, Promos will go to the kitchen and make you the most god-awful, like, boiled, cracked mud coffee.
It's actually really funny. There's like a little like spice store here in town, and they have this like instant chicory coffee from India, and it very much tastes like what I imagine mocha tastes like. It's like chicory and coffee, but it's also very sweet because it's supposed to be like a latte.
It has cardamom in it usually as well.
Yeah, that's very much what I imagine mocha tastes like.
Yeah, that might be the case.
This is actually a subject that I know a ton about. I was a barista for many years, if you can't tell by my beanie.
I'm just a coffee junkie.
I wish I could drink coffee. Anyway.
But yeah, so
Drinking it right now.
Franz is trying to sober up the best ways that she knows how, because now she's broken enough whiskey bottles and decisions have to be made.
Yep.
Mikkel, just looking back at the map here of the murders, the one that's actually to our left of Prawns here at Hybergon,
Yep.
that's still one that needs to be looked into?
But yeah, potentially.
What do we know about that one?
Wait a minute. No, you're right. You have... Let me have a look at a thing. I have a thing, which is... Right. Ha. You have a missive on your table, Prawns, that you didn't see because of all the drinking. It
So Franz
came
is staring down
yesterday.
at her table. What the fuck is this?
It came from Sorfena da Clust, your necromancer agent.
And
She is in fact stationed up in Himmergond and can tell you that that particular place, yeah, it's been massacred.
for fuck's sake.
It was a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. They, there is in the Himmergond Mountains, there is one mine that isn't really used by any mining company because it's said to be depleted. But local priests in Ashtar use it to commune with the goddess. And they tell the future to the supplicants and faithful there. But they are no more. They were massacred a couple of weeks ago by unknown assailants who left a small stripy frog behind.
So Prawn says we need to go investigate a massacre a couple towns over, and then we'll go find the people.
Of course, going up there means that Prance is going into enemy territory under the power of Lemur Spad.
It's fine. He's good. If he's gonna kill me on sight at this point, she welcomes it.
No, now don't you give up yet. I'm gonna put a bonnet on you. No one will know.
It'll be fine once you give me something to kill.
So, investigating the deaths, going back to Paratorna.
We're gonna go
Going
investigate the massacred town. Pons is still a little drunk. And then we're gonna find the people. And we are going to have peace talks. And we are going to exchange information. And I might try and get a cheap shot on Hammer Boy.
Very well.
Look, just because I agree that I no longer am going to kill them, doesn't mean I have to like them. He still tried to kill me.
Do you have a soldier here that we can go ahead and to run an errand?
Yeah, I got a couple boys I can trust. Why?
Okay. So I will take a paper and quill and start writing a letter.
Okay.
Mikhail basically letters something along the lines of, just making sure. Yeah, Harold will actually pen the letter to Brittany and outright state something along the lines of, Kranz is now aware we are heading to Ascara via Heimbergond, and we need to meet on neutral ground. Please treat this soldier as an emissary of the Inquisition. And I will then seal it best way possible
Yeah.
and send him north to deal with the wolves.
Okay, then. You will have to write something like that I can possibly present to adventures if they're still there.
If they're still there, yep. I'll pop it in the Discord.
Exactly. All right, so
Make a special note, not for dogs with hands.
that's
You don't want them
Yes.
getting a hold of your sensitive information. Franz, why don't you just talk to some of the Limmer Spade folks and see if you can't work out a surrender or an apology?
I don't think it's gonna work that way.
How can you make it work that way, though?
I can try, but my
was
wife
like-
is still at war with them.
Tell her to stop. Write her a note.
I can try, but my marriage doesn't work that way. My wife is my boss. And
Do
you think I'm scary? She's crazy.
Oh, I've met her. I was at the wedding.
Right.
I'm saying right now you've got a choice. You found out that you're a bad guy. Are you going to keep being the bad guy?
I'm still too drunk to make that choice.
And then have another glass of water and another cup of coffee, because you're either going to have to decide before you start walking or after.
Well, I'm arranging peace talks.
Oh, good. We could get you into Trinismira. If you find any agent that's loyal to Lemur Spade's cause, you can bandy them about for hauling in a big get. Right? They bring you to him in a net, that looks great. And even if they try to kill you on sight, at least you get a word in. And maybe I can talk us out of it if we get enough of a head start with the locals. If we're still poking around with the authority of the army that they're at war with, then we got to go quiet. So what are your goal and how do we do it?
I just want to stop the brain suckers. And possibly put the dead back to rest if that works out the way I hope it will.
Generals? Supreme?
Yes.
General, ma'am, sir, ma'am?
Grand High General. Thank you.
There's a messenger with a wrinkled note. This is just in from Gattve's Rock, ma'am.
I take it. Good work, soldier.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, it's from Captain... make up a captain's name really fast.
Captain, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Captain Nin? There we have Captain Nin.
Sure. Captain, where did I leave him?
Exactly. Captain Nin of the Tracorian Navy reports that the general wanted information about strange murders, specifically victims lacking brains.
Yes.
They have found 3 of them on Gattve's Rock.
Did we happen to have any oracles on Gattve's Rock?
Yes, the white one was there.
They're brainless now.
There was...
Did you not listen to my story about the carpet and the dog that literally howled crazy?
There's more brainless now, apparently.
There were no brain-sucked victims when you were on the island that you
No.
knew of, Errol. There might have been stashed away somewhere in a cupboard, but that there weren't any when you were there.
So,
That you would know.
how are they sucking out the brains?
That's the mystery. As far as I know, there is a worm that goes in their head that lets them communicate.
You haven't told me about what worm are you talking about?
R&R, that's how they used it to, like, ping off their radar and stuff.
You didn't tell
Alma.
me that part.
Alma explained it to me.
You didn't tell me that part.
Listen,
You didn't
Franz.
get any further than Prawns, you're the bad guy.
Kranz, you've been speaking the language of thrown bottles for the last 2 days.
is there a fire in the room?
It must be.
Okay. Errol moves closer to it.
Just in case.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Errol, Prawns is, at this point, Prawns is taking a very deep breath. And you've never seen her do this before. She's looking like she's trying to restrain herself.
The Bouncy Khan teaches restraint, Prance, to be unmovable.
I need all of the information that you have. All of it.
I told you what I knew at the time, and as we're talking with everybody else here, I remembered some additional stuff. I apologize. My brain is not perfect.
Prance
I
will
don't-
know Errol has wind one. He's not the sharpest tool in the Inquisition shed.
Should I be checking you for worms?
You touch my brain, I will light this room.
If I see worms poking out of your ears, my sword's going in your back.
That's perfectly fine. And I see how the general works, so it's fine. So to that point, the R&R has multiple threats. At this point, he pulls down his lip. They have the black mark. They have the ability of basically having separate, looky around eyes. They have the little frog. They also usually kill people with a sickle because it's easy. It's a farmer's tool, what have you.
Everybody's got one.
Normally, exactly. And when I was talking to Brittany, and for those that haven't noticed, I have been using both names. So when I was talking to Brittany, she actually explained that they have this little worm that's implanted that's from the gods. And this voice talks to them and tells them kind of like a pinged radar and kind of like I don't know, it's a voice in their head. They can talk with each other.
What did they call themselves?
Rubdarana, the
No,
R&R.
the crazy.
The Rejoicers.
Fuck.
The Rejoicers.
Fuck.
That was why the wolf went crazy.
I brought Rejoicers to Majora under orders from the Digatalanga. A whole group of them and their caretaker. That was part of my mission, was to drop them off and send them into the fucking wild.
Who's their caretaker?
I don't remember her name.
Okay,
You might
well,
remember what she looked like, though, I think.
What did she look like?
An old lady with a purple eye. Hard to forget the purple eye.
Blah.
Harold ever come across an old lady with a purple eye, Mikkel? That doesn't ring a bell to Harold.
Don't think you so, no.
Oh, okay.
Did I fucking set this off?
Who knows?
Possibly. I don't know. Well, listen, we could all kind of get blamed a little bit for what happened at Majuri. You know, I literally started to go fisticuffs with an anti-creationist. We're not going to get into the blame game at this point.
I am pure as the driven snow.
wasn't even known to the party at that time.
Exactly. So let's just leave what happened on Majura, and let's just deal with the now. Yeah.
If there is a hell, I'm pretty sure mine will be Majura.
So,
That place keeps coming back to bite me in the ass.
oh, speaking of, while we're not talking about things that I forgot, they actually made it to the Iron Tower, and they actually tried to get rid of the the leader of the Shagalites or whatever that was there. My brain gets foggy at this point. And that's kind of how most of this kind of kicked off.
Were we working with a fucking Shagolite on Majura at some point?
Mm-hmm. But once again, that whole not really good, bad, gray area type person, kind of like the Rubdarana that I just met that basically told me all their secrets. But anyways.
Okay. I need to go investigate a slaughtered town.
Or we can go back to the little island that just had 3 brain suckers missing. I heard, by rumor, there might be an anti-creationist there.
Sure.
Maybe we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone?
Okay. I'm just...
Brother's like, huh. Hashtag
Let's
I
go.
give up.
Pretty much.
You know, killing two birds with 1 stone is a lot easier than killing 2 stones with 1 bird.
I see they teach Confucius at the towers.
Gattve's Rock?
Yes, let's go there. And then we will make peace with...
All right, Gattve's Rock it is. That shouldn't be too hard to get to. If I get
We got a boat and everything.
You got a boat and everything. And you dominate the waters too, because I remember someone spending a fate die to activate the fleet of Ariano de Spinalunga to chase after a bunch of terrorists.
I thought they were terrorists at the time.
Yep. You definitely did. So, let's have ourselves a look at the Transmira map, shall we? Guy with a boat and everything. You still have Briar tucked away at your base in Helterham. I kind of think that's hilarious.
I hope Linvina's not having too much fun with him.
He is probably petrified all the time. That's what I think. But yeah, Gattve's Rock is really not far away, and Promos, you can be there. I mean, it's a matter of an hour or 2. This is well traveled. I'm not even gonna have you roll. Like
A quick jaunt.
It's a quick jaunt indeed. So jumping in your boat and out to sea it is. So I suppose we're going to a fishing village of sorts, aren't we? That's what I think we are. Let me have a look here at Gattve's Rock. Certain people are not around there anymore. I can say that much.
I was gonna say, might have to clean up the map.
Yeah, doing that. All right, so coming with a boat. I guess I can just plump down a boat on the map here. It's not going to be a very big one because, you know, it's a large scale.
Kranz, when we get there, if you hear rumors of you being here already, it was done in the best interest.
What did you do?
Of trying to save the profits. Just
Okay. It's fine. This is fine. Everything is fine.
Everything is indeed fine. Ship shape and Bristol fashion, right?
Kranz is gonna have a mental breakdown again.
Yep.
Oh, and don't forget about the rejoicers that are on the island.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the rejoicers. I've been there, done that.
I look at the other 2 party members.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
You think
They're whiny,
rejoicers-
screaming, mumbling bitches who you can catch they're crazy.
You think the priest from Shamash would sway them?
No, can't.
You can't fix them.
They're a different religion than you are, and they are unfixable, basically.
We should also have that other bitch from town checked, because come to think of it, her crazy could be Rejoicer. The girlfriend.
Possible. Just remembering back to it, yeah. It was kind of crazy.
I didn't even think of Rejoicers at the time. Although, when I was on the boat, I didn't fucking interact with them that much. Because they were kept in their own little area. Because the caregiver, who didn't seem to be bothered by them, said they were dangerous. I also managed to transport a dragon slayer, so you know. A lot of shit went down in Majora, okay?
It is afternoon, mid-afternoon, Monday, the last day of Viteska. Prance's head is absolutely,
Pounding.
yes, and it is reflected in all the exhaustion and doubt that you currently have.
Yep.
And it's a nice little fishing hamlet, isn't it? It has a couple of strange features, I should say. One is the Tracorian garrison, that is basically a larger fishing house than most people have here. But the really eyesore that sticks out is the big party house, which is like a huge longhouse made out of wood. It's much richer than anything else in the entire village. Has all sorts of interesting carvings on the walls that must have taken some masters to come there and do the work. Very opulent and very much shut. Like all the window shutters are closed, it's boarded up, it's locked down. There's of course also the tower up here on the hill. 3-story watchtower, basically. And as you approach, I mean, you're sailing across, as I said, it takes a couple of hours. There's a lot of naval traffic here, of course. A lot of caravels, a couple of carracks patrolling back and forth. 1 or 2 catramasses to act as scouts for the larger ships. And there will be such ships anchored here. They're doing their job here, Prance. They're doing their job. So I can put down a couple of larger ships, I suppose.
And there's anybody still on them?
Oh yeah. They're here for provisions or using this as a something of a base. Okay, that was a too small ship at all. Let's make it more properly sized, like that, for example. Couple of those that are anchored off.
I have a quick word with some of the captains, just to see if they've seen or heard anything odd. Or out of the ordinary.
Not really, they say. We've had let's see how that will go. You're making an interrogation thing here, aren't we? Or
For once, Franz is being nice about it.
Okay. Well, I mean, they stand at attention and everything when you ask the captains to come to shore. As you come to shore, before the captains can arrive, because you're basically signaling for them to come, right? The Tracorian garrison will approach you, and it consists of a total of 5 soldiers. And they are bowing deeply. Oh, General! Ma'am, so glad to have you back, which is to say not at all, but Sintald Erald, Baru Erald, you are much honored to be here again. We are so honored in your presence. They're making very awkward attempts at being nice. You will notice that there is not a single officer among them.
Tell me about my last visit.
Why, General, they're looking at each other. This is a test, right? Yeah, it's a test. You came here just a few days ago. You ordered us to investigate dangerous terrorist elements that have attacked the Wizard's Tower. We went to investigate and found that they have in fact been all slain. The terrorists are all dead. We have one of them in the garrison house. And you congratulated us on a job well done. That is after you came back the second time and barked at us for not doing our jobs properly. We have learned our lesson now, General, and we're doing our jobs properly now. Yes.
Excellent. I want to talk to the prisoner.
Oh, she's dead.
Is this the same one that you dragged down from the Wizard's Tower?
Yes, of course.
Why is she dead?
Because
Did I order you to kill her?
No, she was dead when we found her, General.
General, don't you remember? They were dragging the body out from the tower.
I know, I'm testing their memories.
Oh, okay.
Yes, she was dead already. Yes, that's what we remember. And
I'd like to see the body.
Of course, yes, immediately. I have some bad news, though, General.
Yes.
Our captain and our sergeants were found dead earlier today.
They didn't happen to be missing the brain, did they?
How did you know?
It's catching.
It's catching?
Do you have anybody else mumbling, muttering,
No.
sounding incoherent?
No.
Okay. I'd like to see the bodies.
Of course, General.
Mikhail, I'm gonna pay attention to these 5 soldiers. Same ones as last time?
Yep. I mean, last time there was like 10 of them.
Okay.
Are there any other unexplained deaths?
No, I'd say it's been very quiet up from the Wizard's Tower lately.
Okay. So I'm gonna go inspect the bodies. Look to see if it's the same thing we're looking for.
You will find 4 bodies there. 2 are bodies of guards.
Okay.
The captain and like a couple of corporals, basically. And the 4th is the body of a very large woman who is dressed in, or was dressed in, I guess, they have no reason to remove those clothes, greens and browns that do not fit her at all. They're way too small.
So the running theory is this madness is passed verbally.
Yeah.
Yes.
So handling the dead body should be fine.
Yes.
Excellent.
None of these dead bodies have the telltale sign of a rejoicer. What is the telltale sign of a rejoicer? They always, when they go fully nuts, they always shave their hair completely on their head, except for 5 braids or tufts of hair. 1 in the front, 1 on top of their head, 1 in the back, and 2 to the side. The 5 braids of rejoicers. They all do this when they go mad, for whatever reason.
And any of them showing those signs?
No.
And I'm checking like the ears, the nose for any kind of residue of liquid or...
Yeah, the woman in question has very simply had her throat slashed.
Okay. That's a
Her
normal
head-
kill.
Yep, that's a normal kill. Her head is otherwise completely intact. There is no missing brain here, from what you
Okay.
can see.
And what about the officers?
Oh yeah, their brains are gone.
Okay. Is there any sign of liquid or how the brain was removed from the head? Did it leak out the ears? Did this worm eat it? Now that Franz has slightly more information on what we have as a running theory, she's looking at other aspects, options.
For sure. I am looking for my thing here. Nope, that's not it. Where did it go? Oh, come on. I'm scrolling through my document here. There it is. Okay. That would be through the ear. Yeah. There's a small hole in the ear.
Franz is like, ha! I found it.
It's only a matter
Thomas,
of
come
time,
here.
really.
Look. And she points the hole where there's like probably like a, I don't know, trace residue of liquid from the ear, the brain.
Yeah, exactly. It's brain liquids, brain. The brain,
So-
of course, sits very nicely nestled in brain juices.
Apparently,
we're gonna
in
need a lot of
some
beeswax.
victims of this insanity, it causes the brains to leak out their ears.
No, if they're insane, they'd have the hair. They're not.
Well, they didn't go fully insane. They just died. Apparently, some brains can handle the insanity and live and become a rejoicer. Some can't, and they just liquefy.
Harold at this point stops listening to Prawns and looks at their lips. See if any of them are black.
No.
Okay. Wrong rabbit hole, Prawns. Sorry.
They're not
Oh.
going to be robbed around if they're victims.
But so what you're telling me is that the Rob Durannas now brain suckers too? That's not the MO typically of Rob Durana. They just kill.
I thought that's how they've been killing the oracles.
No, they've been killing the oracles, not necessarily sucking out their brains. Might have two separate things, but
There's no way this is not connected.
you know who would know? And I look up at the tower.
There's no fucking wizards left in there, I thought.
Let's go take a visit, shall we?
What else are you not telling me, Harold?
There's an anti-creationist up there. I told you that when we got on the boat.
Let's go talk to the anti-creationists.
This is the one that you had fisticuffs with.
No, this one, and I literally open my bag and show you 9 vials of wildfire.
This one changed your mind, huh?
Twice.
All right, let's go have a conversation.
All right.
Sorry, Mikkel.
Well,
Hey, I didn't destroy it while they were there. Didn't say I wasn't going to destroy it.
that's fine. That's fine. You are. It's gonna take you a little while to get up there, like half an hour or so. We're talking like almost a kilometer walk, half a mile or so.
Franz is kind of like stomping. If you've ever seen a woman angry walk,
This is a drizzle is on you. It's about 9+ right now centigrade, which is in Fahrenheit. I think it's like 50 or something.
Nice and bleak weather.
Yes, nice and it's almost 50. So nice and bleak weather as you're marching up towards the tower itself.
As we're marching, Harold will tell a lovely story about coming up to the tower and then feeling like getting back on a boat.
Twice.
is this the innocent one all over again?
Yeah.
Promos would like to run like before we leave the beach. He would like to stop at the boat and get some of the wax that he uses to seal his sails against water, so that he can get some pliable enough to jam into his ears.
Right.
Love
Like
it.
he's basically going to use Harold's boring story as the test to be like, can I still hear anything? No, okay.
That sounds like a good idea. I might do the same.
Oh gosh, Harold's talking away. He's the only one talking to himself at this point.
Everybody
Yeah,
else
Franz is
just-
still listening because Franz still thinks she's invincible to mind games. She's like, I've dealt with these crazies before. This is fine. I'm fine. This is fine. She's still in the denial portion. trying to pretend she still has everything under control.
Everything is under control, completely. There's no doubt about it.
Exactly. She's not going crazy. This world, the war's not falling apart. She's not possibly on the wrong side, chasing terrorists that aren't really terrorists.
No, not at all.
While other real terrorists kill the people she's trying to save.
You stopped chasing the fake terrorists a couple days back, right before your bender, and now, in the midst of your bender, you're now chasing the right terrorists, right?
Exactly.
It's all right. You fight the right ones.
Exactly.
So there we have it. So, yeah. Gattve Citadel. In the afternoon, you arrive to this place.
Is the door closed?
The door is closed. There's a scorch mark on the door, I will have you know. I don't know where that might be coming from, Harold.
I have no clue what you're talking about, DM.
Is the door locked?
Yes, it is.
Franz will kick it open.
Good luck.
Scorch mark. There. You are trying to kick open the door to the Citadel. Let me consult things. That's not ominous at all, is it?
It's fine.
And suddenly you were all eaten by... No, wait.
Listen.
Promos is standing way back.
Franz has already died once, and she really doesn't care if she lives anymore right now. So it's fine.
Harold is thinking in the back of his head, if anybody's listening, he just wants to talk.
Yeah. Why don't you roll stone check then to open up the thing, I guess? We don't have a single person with high stone in this group, do we?
No. But I have other things that make it slightly better.
Yep.
Oh, I've got one more.
You've got your 2 stone. I don't know what you want to use to
Can I use a sword play to angle my body the right way?
In this case, I would say that you would need wrestling feats of strength to do that kind of thing that you're looking for.
Oh, I don't think I have that.
No,
I have
you don't.
Fancy Con and I have
No, you don't have
sword
that.
play.
Gistaki had that.
Okay, I will try it as it is.
Yep, 2 dice. Anyone want to help her? 2 successes, look at that.
There you go.
Lucky one. I mean, it's a sturdy door. Harold, do you want to help out here? Rebello?
Sure.
Who wants to
Would I
break
be
down a
able
door?
to? Like just 1d6?
That's probably not a good idea. But Harold
I
or
think I've only got
Promos
one stone.
have 2 for your stone.
Oh.
Look at that! Harold is helping, so Prance gets to roll another die. Does Promos want to roll a couple of dice too?
Yeah, he'll tuck a shoulder in if it seems that Harold is doing it.
Go ahead. Roll 2 dice. We want successes and 6s mostly. As always. Oh no, that's terrible. Okay, so Harold's extra die disappeared because Promos got in the way.
Really?
Womp womp.
Maybe you'll have to climb across. Harold, you're good at climbing. That's a fire check. This wall is only about 4 meters, so that would make it...
Oh, yeah, that'd be nasty drop.
What? It's just 12 feet.
Yeah, just 12 feet. 6 to render unconscious.
You have literally fire 3.
I do. Alright. If this all goes bad, it's a DM's fault.
Yep.
That was the deal.
Errol's gonna try and climb this.
Yeah, you're the only one with fire 3.
So, how much of a leap here can I take that I have thievery? Even though the focus is lockpicking, but my ability is thievery.
Yeah, you need the ability or acrobatics, which
Acrobatics,
is part of...
yeah.
Thievery has an acrobatics for exactly this.
Okay. Alright.
That is 3d6 with 2 successes, and I will judge you to get across that, but at cost. Somehow there is a cost to this.
I break my quarter stick.
You break
Trying
a
to stick it
quarterstaff,
into. Trying to stick it in and basically brace myself as I'm going up.
and it snaps. So you no longer have a quarterstaff, do you?
Nope.
Now he has
Man,
2
lost.
8-staffs.
Yeah, I've got 2 half staffs.
Ah, you're going with like two stick fighting.
Yeah.
That works too. 2 clubs instead of. So you will get over on the other side, and you are now on the other side and can unlock the door with using the there's a boom.
Yeah, I unlocked the door.
The on the other side you see some shacks, some a couple of guard towers, but also freshly dug graves.
All right. Harold heads towards the freshly dug graves and gestures everybody else to come in.
Okay. Following suit.
You guys, we have a dungeon crawl going.
Me
Oh
too.
boy.
John,
It seems
did you
that
get your
I don't
token?
have.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Yeah, I can't see either. I just
Oh,
figured
really?
it was supposed to be dark.
Oh no.
Yeah, if
Vision
you
is
move your
enabled for
character
you.
up, the use of your character's tunnel vision.
Let's see now. Let's put it down again and see if that works better, Kranz. Because there is vision enabled on your token, so that shouldn't be a problem. Now, how about that?
No, here, just give me a second. I'm just gonna reload my foundry.
Yeah, let's do that. Promos, prototype token, vision. Ah, your vision was not enabled. I'm gonna update it.
There
like
we
that.
go. I
And
can see now. I just needed to reload foundry.
there. Can you see now?
Not yet. Let me reload.
Yes, you do that. All right, a foreboding tower stands before you.
Still says I do not have a token with vision in this scene.
Really?
Yeah.
Configure ownership. Oh, I know why. For some reason, you don't have ownership of that token. I don't know why that is. How about that?
Oh,
That's weird.
Did that work?
reloading. There we go. Now we're cooking.
Excellent. Okay. Troubleshooting completed. You have in front of you a small open yard. It's very quiet here. Basically, you can hear some chickens walking.
Too quiet,
along.
a bad noir detective would say.
Exactly. Some chickens walking around, strutting here and there, but there's servant quarters and arguably some like barns for farm animals. But yeah, there's also a bunch of freshly dug graves. In fact, there are more than that. It's like I'm gonna put more here.
Hey, Errol, you know what this reminds me of? The fucking Druid's Tower.
Yeah, there shouldn't be this many here, though. This doesn't make much sense. Is
The
there any
entrance to
markings?
the what was that?
Is there any markings?
Names on the graves.
No,
Or are they just literally piles of dirt?
literally piles of dirt. The entrance to the tower itself is up a long stairwell to about 4 meters up, and yeah, so that's 12 feet up, and then there is like a door. It's single file, of course, to make it really risky to get up there. The first level of the tower doesn't even have windows. Those only happen on the second and third level upstairs.
Does anybody else feel like we keep showing up too little too fucking late?
Yep.
Harold starts digging by hand on one of the bodies.
Okay.
I want to see what's underneath it.
It's gonna take
Franz
a
will
little
help
while.
him.
Okay. Promos for Bello? Anything?
Promos is going to keep a high alert look at everything. Like his head is on a swivel.
Right. With the harpoon at the ready, I take it.
Yeah. Also,
Oh,
his ears are stuffed with beeswax, so he can't really hear real well. So he's like,
it's not going to take you too long to uncover.
You were not taking the whole body out. I assume we're just looking for a face.
Yeah.
I'm either
Yep.
looking for a face or what they were wearing.
You get a face. It's it's a dead face. It's been dead for a little while. None of you have, unfortunately, the medicine skill with the autopsy expertise, which could allow you to ask questions about when the victim died, so on and so forth.
What point of decomposition is it?
They're fairly fresh.
So if lip's still intact, I'm checking for the black.
No, nothing black there.
Do they
This-
have the hole in the ear?
Nope. They do have the slash over the throat, though.
Okay.
And
Errol, did these look like any of the guards you met last time?
No.
and does it look like the ones that we followed over that was on the boat before we got onto Gattve's rock, i.e. the R&R that we were chasing?
No.
Okay. Don't know what these are.
Okay.
Oh,
We
so-
vary.
Okay.
Honestly, Franz may end up having to take the fucking autopsy skill. Because I've done enough autopsies in like the last couple of games.
You have, haven't you? Medicine with pathology expertise coming up. You only need to do one more experience to level
I
up.
do.
Alright, let's go up the tower.
I'm sure it's not going to be a problem at all.
Franz is drawing her sword.
Errol
Yep.
is taking out a flask of wildfire.
This feels like Marjura again, doesn't it?
It really, really does. Like I said, Franz was saying that in game. Errol, does this feel like the Druids?
There's a not very nice gentleman, I'm sure, at the top of this tower.
If he's still alive. What
Um,
do we know about this not nice gentleman, Errol?
He's
Yeah.
a mentalist.
So you've gone up this stone stairwell on the outside. You will find a powerful oaken door with iron reinforcements. And you know what? It's actually open. I'm not gonna have it locked. It's just open.
Okay.
Oh?
Franz walks in with her sword. Sword drawn, pointed.
Are you the first to walk in here? Because you seem to be the last to walk in.
Well, that's because I can't see what's going on.
All right.
There we go.
So you're all entering, basically. Yeah. Oh, there's something I forgot to put down here because things have happened since last time. Didn't they? Yeah, they surely did. Never mind. Never mind. It's as it should be. You are now in complete... the whole floor is one big round room with stone walls, of course. Right to the left, you have a stairwell going up to a hatch in the ceiling. Further into the room, you see a very large oven, basically. There's all sorts of kitchen utensils around here. Between that oven and the door are a couple of wooden tables and the benches where people can sit and do whatever you do by a kitchen table. There's also a barrel and a chest. I would like some wind checks here, please, for in the case anybody is investigating this place, which I have a feeling they are.
My wind's not the best. So
I
I'll
know.
let somebody else.
Rebello's wind, however, is
good wind.
awesome. Rebello is the wind master.
Hell yeah. Oh,
4. That's not so good. Anyone
No.
want to help him out? Like with a...
You got an experience you can use?
He does maybe have experiences. No,
Possibly.
wind spirits are 2 of them. Failed developing my relation with people when I had the chance to spread the word of the gods. No, that doesn't feel like it's right.
Can I
And your
use my
wind...
command skill to assist him?
No, that's not what it's for. You could just do a win check, though, Prance, and hope that you don't roll 1s, or 2s, or 3s. You roll a success. Rebella gets another die to roll. That's another success.
Another success.
Very nice. With this, well, it succeeded at cost, so I'm gonna go with you take a point of misery of some kind, Rebello. Are you getting exhausted, scared, doubtful of yourself, or do you get a bucket of, or like a saucepan in your head and take a point of damage?
I'd probably be a little bit scared being inside of
Yeah,
a place
that makes
where
sense.
there's active graves. and
Franz
some
is
kind of
yelling.
eerie tower, and
That-
Franz yelling.
That makes sense. That
Franz
makes
is
sense.
yelling
So
because
much
she's
stuff.
still agitated.
Yep.
All this pressure.
All the pressure, right? You will find, Rebello, someone has done a decent job of cleaning things up. But there is definitely, between the boards of the floor, there's definitely, blood splatter.
Too decent, a bad more detective would say.
There's
Exactly.
ketchup on the floor. Oh no.
I don't think that's ketchup.
No, that is not ketchup.
No. I hope not. Ketchup is so sticky. On floors, anyway.
You want ants? That's how you get ants.
Exactly.
So somebody was murdered in this room.
Yep.
So I start checking the patterns and the other instruments, looking, now that I know it's there,
Yep.
looking for more hints of blood and how things could have been used and how the blood could have gotten there.
We really need like a crime scene investigator, forensic skill, don't
Well,
we?
Franz has done enough torture. She knows how blood gets in places.
Right.
I've got a Huntsmaster Pathfinder, if that's any.
You know
any
what? That
use.
might be a help. Yeah, I'm gonna allow you to use your sword play as if you want to put like a win check with 1 fate die for your sword play. I'll allow that because, as you say, you know you've seen enough people who were killed by the blade and then blood splatter all over the wall. And Huntsman, it's kind of the same, right? You're looking for traces. Now, Master Tracker is the expertise you want for that, and you don't have that yet. I believe, Promos, right?
So just
Correct. I've only got Pathfinder.
Yeah. Prance can use... What's your sword play? You have 1 level in that. So if you want to spend a fate die together with your wind, you can do that.
sure, that is what I will do.
Very well.
I will re-roll that.
Ah, which experience are we talking about? The Battle of Arham?
I learned things on Arham.
You can't fight your way out of every situation. Fair. That levels our prawns up. Woo!
Woohoo!
Reroll 2 dice. That's
Hey, it's another 6. No,
Okay.
that's 2 6s.
So Prawns is walking back and forth here, doing her investigative work in this here kitchen. And judging by the traces and Promos, you can actually help her with... No, you don't have Master Tracker. That's the problem. Yeah, sorry. You can't determine much from footprints and whatnot. People have been cleaning up quite well here. But you can determine things from where the blood is and the blood splatter that inevitably have gone onto furniture, walls, under tables, on utensils, on top of the oven top, things like that. And judging from all these traces, you're thinking servants were working here as kitchen staff when they suddenly were ambushed and murdered. And
Somebody
there's...
murdered all the staff in this kitchen.
Yeah.
And so, following logically, it would have been either a group of people or like one particularly vicious assailant.
Probably a group of people. There was 3 that came over. That was originally part of the R&R that was trying to do the assassination. It wouldn't be much of a leap to probably assume that they took over their guises or what have you.
Who were they trying to assassinate?
The prophet. They came here to the tower looking for the prophet.
Okay.
The crazy one, the white one, or the fur. Anyways.
How many soldiers were left downstairs?
Hmm?
How many soldiers were left downstairs? You said there was 5. There used to be 10.
Yeah, there was a lot more than what was there at the garrison.
Do you think that some of them could be Robderana?
No, none of the bodies had traces of.
No, I mean some of the ones left living.
They're too dumb to be Robderana. They're either playing the guys really, really well, and truthfully, if they were Robderana, we're dead now.
Mm.
There's 5 of them and 4 of us in the middle of a tower. If they were Robderana, it'd be a great opportunity.
There's 5 of them, and there's 4 of us. So if we kill one, then there's 4 of them, and there's 4 of us. And then if we kill another one, then there's 3 of them, and there's 4 of us.
You said originally there was only
upstairs
3
or downstairs?
Robderana.
There was only 3 Robderana that came over.
So maybe the 2 we talked to are just really dumb guards.
The Herald at this point will start going upstairs.
Yeah, John, you just marked the hatch
Yeah.
in the floor. There's a hatch in the floor.
I hate to admit it, Errol, but most of my soldiers are idiots.
Promos is just gonna, seeing Errol go up the stairs, he's just gonna drag one of the tables and set it on top of the hatch.
That works.
Just in case.
I'll have a table for you.
Yeah, or a barrel, just something that will weigh it down and
Make some noise.
Good. Yeah.
Scratch, clunk. Here we go, table. There is now a table covering that place.
Excellent.
All right. So Errol is going upstairs, is he?
Yep.
Franz will be behind him.
Let's have a look at that. You will, in fact, get through the hatch and up into the next room. Are the others following?
Is there any knives in here? Because I don't have a weapon currently.
There are knives, yes, kitchen knives and whatnot. Absolutely.
Alright, I'll just grab one of those.
Knife.
Better than nothing.
Better than nothing. Prons, are you going upstairs?
Yeah, Franz would have followed directly behind Errol.
Very good. And
Promos will do so after stealing the best pan that this place has.
okay, here we're going with harpoon and pan.
Oh no,
Nice
the pan is for the boat.
Oh, okay. You now have a pan in your inventory, Promos.
Hell yeah.
I'll put a pan there. If you take one more thing, you'll be over encumbered. Just saying.
Noted.
Yeah, now you're in a different room, aren't you? You come into a very round room again. The ceiling is again wooden. Stone walls that have basically arrow slits with glass windows put into them. The glass gets the room to just shimmer in all sorts of multicolored dark light. Just next to the entrance, the hatch, there is a small bell attached to a rope that goes, like the rope goes downstairs. And to the right, there is a round table with food, and it's just absolutely covered with food and wine and canapes and snacks and so on. It sits under a tapestry of horse-bound hunting. All the other walls have shelves for book scrolls. I think Errol and Rubello will start drooling a bit. Further away, there is also a smaller bench for laboratory work. There is lots of jars, like clay jars and leather bags and whatnot. The furthest part away is a huge desk, which is cloven in twain by a 3-meter tall wheel. It looks like the type, like the water wheel that you would have on a mill or something, water mill. Only instead of a mill, it is in fact a library. Like each of these spokes is actually a shelf with a book attached. And on the desk, there is just gold and silver all over the place. To the left, there is a very beautiful harp and other smaller instruments hanging on the wall, and nice, thick pelts that are very comfortable to walk on.
Is the food still good?
To buyer beware, Harold goes over to the
I'm
table.
not going to eat it. I want to know how long it's been sitting there.
How long has it been sitting there? You know what? It's starting to go. It's starting to go, yeah.
Okay. There's
Even
no
up
bodies,
here,
no
flies-
people.
What was that?
There's no bodies, no people.
No.
Well, it looks like somebody left quick, fast, and in a fucking hurry because they left their dinner.
Yep.
Harold will go over to the table and start rummaging through what's there.
Did your super evil Shagolite friends maybe fight their way out?
Didn't say it was a Shagolite.
I'm just guessing.
On the table there, you will, yeah, okay. There, so, books over here on the actual wheel, right there. There is also next to the wheel, there is a bronze statue. It looks like a horse that is just nodding its head, like actively nodding its head. It's actually moving. While a silver wheel with a small fly spinning around it. And it's moving, like, just keeps going around and nodding. There is a lot of gold coins on the table, and silver as well. There's also a deck of cards for fortune-telling purposes.
Mikkel, I'm so sorry. Harold picks up the deck of cards.
You die immediately. You do not. It is a deck of cards for fortune-telling purposes. Looks very mundane. You don't feel, like, at the moment, you don't feel any particular magic from the cards or the objects on the table.
Okay.
You know what this room reminds me of? Any of y'all ever see Cabin in the Woods?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I picked the deck of cards.
Basement in Cabin in the Woods.
The windows, however, Errol and Rebello, the windows have spells put on them. You'd have to actually do some spell work yourself to know what kind of spells have been put on them, but...
Probably alarm spells. That's my guess.
These books are... There's so many books here. Like, every single book is sturdy, and they are very valuable. These are highly informative books on all sorts of arcane arts, basically.
So we should take some.
If you want to steal from alleged anti-creationist archmages, absolutely.
What could go wrong?
Right.
I start looking for mundane traps among the gold and the horse and the...
Why don't we get some wind checks here?
Promos is like checking under all of the rugs with the harpoon. Like,
Promos, I'd like you to roll a wind check, please. I know your wind is amazing. That's good enough. Succeed at cost? What is the cost here, though? Are you
Promus is smarter than he looks.
taking a point of fear, maybe, when you discover that one of the pelts on the ground is not from a wolf. It's from a wolf kin.
A wolf with hands.
They skinned
yeah,
a sentient creature.
Yes.
He'll point that out. He's got the. I'll say that the Ghiblies is a good thing to have in this situation.
Yeah. Prance, as you're looking through things here, there is in fact a hatch in the ceiling.
Hey fellas, this goes up a little further. Do we want to keep going?
You can't even, like, you literally need a cart to get all the books out of here. We're talking hundreds of volumes.
You can come back to the library later.
Boys?
Harold is doing one final look at this spindle that you're referring to where the books are on.
Yep.
And so you said it's currently holding 3?
No, hundreds.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought there was like the bookshelf, but then I thought the way you described it, there's
Yeah,
stuff that's in front of
the
him. That's
the research spindle that has like would have the books that he's looking into most recently, right?
Yeah, they would be like, say, 20 or so books on the research spindle, and on the other bookshelves there's hundreds of books.
okay. Harold's gonna take a look at one of them and basically just see if he can find a title.
This type of work is for, so yeah, why not? I'll just roll a die since you're just picking one up randomly, right?
Yep.
You find a book on basic patterns, spell patterns. This is the type of general magic that all spellcasters and miracle workers can do, including making magical objects, dispel, that sort of thing.
And there's no ladder to get to that hatch, right? Or anything along the lines of that.
There is not, no.
Where is the
tables.
hatch? Is it like above the desk?
Yeah, basically.
Franz climbs up on the desk and opens the hatch.
You are climbing up on the... It is... it's barricaded. From above.
Hey, someone hand me that bronze statue.
Oh, pipe smoking. Harold touches the horse mechanicals thing.
She's already fucked up. I might as well smoke the goddamn pipe.
Yeah. And yeah, I hand it to Franz.
Prawn starts whacking at the hatch with the horse. Trying to, like, break a hinge or try and bust it open or something. Trying to brute force her way through.
Horse, swords, things. Shall we, again, not, you don't have feats of strength. Let's roll your stone check. Bang. You do have 2 successes there, which is not too shabby. It's going to take a while, though. This thing is not going to yield easily.
Franz is stubborn and angry.
Yes. The sun is setting outside. You're not going to have light for much longer in here unless someone actually makes a light.
Are there any torches or candles?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There are torches and lamps, I should say. Silvolium lamps.
I'm assuming Promos would be our resident fire starter.
Really? Because I would think it would be Harold.
I've got a flint and tinder.
Prance,
Yeah, resourcefulness.
what kind of misery will you incur to yourself as you're breaking through this hatch? Are we taking a point of fear this time? Because you can't take more exhaustion, and you can't
I
take
will
more
take some physical damage. Maybe Prawns breaks a finger.
Ah, ugh. Finally,
Maybe in
you're
the
gonna.
start part of the statue.
Yeah,
Your
the
hand
statue
slips and you get
breaks
cut.
under the pressure, but you will hear a crack eventually, and then the rest of the work is done by the sword as you're chopping through whatever board is there. And yeah, you can actually now open the hatch. You need some athletics, though, to climb up there. Errol!
Yep. So up Errol goes. They're gonna at least try to.
It's gonna be... No, okay, yeah, that's barely a success. At cost, so what's the cost?
Actually, he still
might be
believes
able to
that
roll.
this anti-creationist is here. I'm gonna roll the other two. With the journey to purge an anti-creationist takes a toll.
Ah, yes, it does.
So I'm gonna re-roll the 2
the
and
two.
3.
That's 2 successes. Still cost, though.
Yep.
So,
And I will take a point of exhaustion.
very well. That makes sense. And so Errol goes upstairs to find himself in a chamber. I'm sure you can lower down, like roll up a rug or a pelt or something to let the others come up.
Yep. That's basically what Errol will do.
So, one by one, you will go up there, having to climb. Between everybody helping out, I'm not gonna have you make you roll unless there is like a bunch of enemies trying to get you, it's timed or what have you. Which it's not at the moment. It might become any moment, but right now it's not. So you all get up to the highest chamber, probably. This circular stone room is lit up by 6 yellow glass windows. Around the walls are 5 very bent mirrors. They are interchanged with paintings that have been done directly on the wall. And 3 very beautiful marble statues of humans in natural scale. The floor is covered by pelts and a thick rug. Towards the southeast and northwest, there are 2 really big beds that I didn't include for some reason, with, what do you call those? Poster beds. They have very nice mattresses. There is also a covered pedestal in the southwest, and in the northeast you have a glass cabinet with a model of this tower made out of jade. It has 3 stories and sits on like a stone foot. Can't see any exits from here at the moment. The windows again have magic, some kind of spell on them.
So is that the only thing that gives us the gibbities from a magic perspective in this room?
Yes. I would say so.
Can-
or is
can
it?
we
Wait. I'm wrong. The tower model also gives you the gibbities. Definitely magic.
Can we see what was barricading the hatch?
Yeah, there's like a wooden...
Like a crossbar?
Yeah, a crossbar, exactly.
So, who put the crossbar here and then went through it? And how?
Can you, theoretically, magic fellows, can you jump from one point in space to another point in space with magic?
So funny you say that. More along the lines of stuff that I forgot to tell you. Not meaning to really keep forgetting about all this, but
Errol,
Ulma actually teleported, for lack of better terms, the first time that I've actually met her.
could this anti-creationist motherfucker maybe have teleported out?
It's highly possible. Errol goes over to one of those weirdly shapen mirrors.
Right. It's a mirror. It is all weirdly shaped, and when you're walking up to it, you can see your own mirror image distorted in very
like a funny
weird
mirror?
ways. Yes, it's like a fun mirror.
And you mentioned that there was like an art drawn on it.
Not on the mirror. It's between the mirror and the next mirror.
What does one of them look like, as an example? Anything in particular, or
Paintings of people. Beautiful people.
So is it like art, then mirror, and then wall, and then art, then mirror, then wall, it's going around?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna smoke the pipe. I go up and touch one of the mirrors.
The coldness of the mirror's surface is against your hand.
Okay.
You look really
I don't
funny
know.
in that mirror.
Franz doesn't usually pay attention to what she looks like.
I'm going over to the covered pedestal.
Right.
What's on the pedestal?
Let's see now. Bum. That one has... turns out to be a pedestal.
Alright, I'm gonna go pick up the tower. I don't have magic. It doesn't give me the woogadies. What happens?
The tower, it sits in a glass cabinet, so you have to open the glass cabinet first. And as you do,
Sure.
you notice something interesting. Like, it's a model, it's like a cutout, like a dollhouse model, if you will.
Yep.
And in the highest level of the tower, you can see a little figure, a silver figure. It's almost translucent. Of
What does the figure look like?
you, standing right next to the tower model in that room. And then you have three other silver figures. One looks very much like Errol, and another looks very much like Rubello, and a fourth one looks like Promos.
Hey, Errol, I think they knew we were coming. This looks like some kind of security system.
Errol will go over to the glass cabinet. On the other floors, is there other little people?
No.
Is there only 3 floors?
There is 3 floors and a basement. You can even see a model of the basement where you have the basement is divided in 2, where one is like a wine cellar, and then on the other side of a wall there is a long hallway with well, look, another tower, like a tower model like this one.
But no people. Or no
No
little
people, no.
other images. Okay.
But an escape tunnel.
Yeah, potentially.
Okay. I'm going to pick up... Sure, Prawns had enough fun for this evening. I'm going to pick up Prawns and move her like 2 feet in the little model.
Prance, you suddenly find yourself 2 feet away from the little model.
Franz screams for a second. Don't do that. Again.
So there's your... And I look back at this point. There's how they got out.
That would be how they got out.
And so
So I could go outside if you just move the little tiny me.
Uh-huh.
I pick your
Don't.
character up and
Don't.
I put back down very slowly in the same spot. Rubello, you want me to try?
No. That,
So we're gonna get out of here, and I'm
Alright.
gonna fucking smash that.
I don't want
We're-
to.
Where's your sense of adventure? Here. Prawns, just move me down a floor.
Franz takes the little Errol and just drops him down a floor.
and Errol is gone from this room.
Hey guys! You're yelling from below.
Yep.
I have a headache.
Yeah, can I come back up?
Yes, come back up.
Interestingly enough, when you drop him, his little model, on that next floor, it disappears. You can't see it anymore. So you can't move him back up. He'll have to climb on his own.
Interesting.
So that board creates a replica of people inside this room?
Apparently. Errol, are you climbing back up?
Hey, are you guys bringing me back up? Or do I have to do this the old-fashioned way? Here, Errol jump on top of the
You
table.
disappeared.
Oh, that's interesting. And yeah, I tried to climb back up.
Yeah, that's not going to be a problem. They've fixed ropes and everything, so...
Okay. So when you brought me between floors, it disappeared.
Yep.
So there's still a possibility that this is not accurate.
And he's in the basement.
I like your idea. So does everybody want to walk back down, or do we just want to take the teleporty thing?
I put a table on top of the basement.
So you're not getting out the normal way if you go down there, clearly.
And you can't bring someone back up once you've dropped them down.
And I can't break another hatch. I already broke a fucking finger.
The tower model that you're looking at has another miniature version of the tower model sitting down there in the basement.
Is it possible for us to get dropped directly to that? Based off where it is, like, can we physically pick our model and put it in that spot?
Oh, absolutely you can.
Okay. We can't communicate between each other.
No.
I can yell the loudest.
Okay, let's just go back to the main floor.
I'll tell you what,
Back through the
I'm gonna go on ahead and throw a philosophical quandary. I'm gonna go back down to the kitchen on my feet and push the table, and Promos will reach out and pick up his bottle and put it in his pocket. And he's not gonna think too much about it. He's just gonna take it. And then if he is still able to move, he's just gonna walk like a normal, mundane person that knows nothing about magic.
So you just walk away from this place? You just...
Yep.
You're taking your model and walking out?
Just turns out, hey, there's a little tiny me that belongs to me now.
Ah! Yeah, sure. How far are you going with it?
He'll just stick it in a pocket and try to leave the room if he can.
Let's see how.
Just back down the rug.
It is gone. As you're walking away from the tower model, it just dissolves in your hand and is reformed inside the tower model at exactly the location where you are.
Well, that means that if I get to leave, it leaves. And I don't like the idea of someone having a little tiny me, so I'm going to go break the other one.
Alright, well, I say we take the tower with us. The model tower. And when we get out of here, we fucking smash it.
Yeah, smashing it while we're in it might not be a good idea.
I'm saying we take them with us and smash them outside so that if the tower crumbles when we smash it, we're not in it when it happens.
Alright, let's get to the basement, because there's a second one down there. And then we can figure out what we want to do with these little tower things after the fact. So, back down to the floor with books.
Just so y'all know, I don't like this spell.
Fine.
So what are we doing? Are we...
Taking the tower to the basement.
Wait, so you're
No.
moving your miniature to the basement, or you're
Nope,
moving
nope.
the tower?
I'm taking the whole tower.
Okay. As you are...
Taking it with me.
It's pretty sturdy, but, I mean, you can do that. Yeah. And once you have moved it, and you've started moving away, You will notice that the silver figurines are just absolutely dissolving. They're not in the tower model anymore.
So it only works when it's on the spell pedestal.
Apparently.
Excellent.
That spot is, in fact, magical. Errol and Rubello.
Okay.
Can you, like, draw a line through the spell or something?
No, not my wheelhouse. If you want me to burn the place down and talk to the fire while I'm doing so, that's my wheelhouse.
We'll do that once we're done investigating the basement.
Those books need to go into good hands before we go anywhere else.
My friends, I'm looking at the time and I'm going to say, let's pause this story here for an interesting cliffhanger as you're going to go down to the basement and reconvene in 2 weeks and see what kind of horrors and funhouse twisted things you might discover in that basement, etc.
Wow.
Yes.
We're
Absolute
gonna
pleasure
find a German sex dungeon.
Yeah.
That's back at Lavina's.
This is Fundibera. It wouldn't be strange.
I mean, Lavina was originally one of Fundibera's
Yep.
cultists.
And she literally went to Fundibera's sex orgies. So, you know, it wouldn't be strange.
Sorry if you're listening to this, Fundibera, but
The safe word is Glockenspiel.
Exactly. See you everybody in 2 weeks.
thanks everyone.
Thank you.